All right. What's up, guys, and welcome to the Isn't It Crazy podcast. So before we get started, like always, this episode is brought to you by All Things AMARE. It's a crafting company started by Jazz and Campos. And if you need to go for any customization, maybe a cup, a t-shirt, she just did wedding topplers or cupcake topplers or something like that, you could always check her out at All Things AMARE on Instagram. And also, I like to recommend a new podcast. It's called In the Air Tonight. It was started by one of my friends. He came on the podcast and he was very curious. And I guess I inspired him to make a podcast. And it's really funny. Like he said on his podcast, it's unscripted. And he has like 4 episodes now. So go check him out. And if you guys haven't noticed, I didn't say plantitas because today I brought in the founder and creator of PLANTITAS LLC.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm very good. I look nervous. Let's be frank. But yeah, no, I'm really excited about this. I didn't think it was going to get as big. I mean, I was aiming for a goal, but I wasn't aiming as to where I am right now.
Oh, like as to the...
it's just like a little side hustle. Like, hey, let's just make a couple and then see. And now I'm like, oh, okay, I got to make this. And I want to have a little shop and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's really exciting. And then I just got reached out by Bloomingdale's Old Town Walk.
Walkthrough. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they offered me like, hey, you want to be a vendor? And I was like, whoa. Like,
yeah, I saw your post.
I was like, it's nice to kind of like do your thing and just like reach out to people because, that's part of the hustle. But when someone reaches out, that's like super like flattering, I guess you could say.
Yeah, because they're liking what you're making.
Yeah. So we'll be there on August 20th.
Mm-hmm.
It's obviously going to be my first like biggest event.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited. I'm going to have a raffle, but it's not necessarily a raffle. It's more like a giveaway.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to just think of ideas like, the spinning wheel and get a free little plant.
Yeah.
Or
I know
stuff
what you
like
mean.
that.
Yeah,
so we're still in the works of that. But if everybody wants to come out and check it out, it's pretty fun.
Yeah, we'll stop by and see what you got. So they got different vendors and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's going to be like different like local businesses.
Cool.
So it'll be exciting to see what's out there because it's not like primarily like, oh, it's just about plants. It's just, it's a variety of local businesses.
Well, that's a perfect place for something like Plantitas because, you go there thinking like, maybe I need something for my house. And that's like, you could carry it home. It's perfect. It's small. It's not like some big ticket item or something, but the raffle sounds cool.
Yeah.
I've seen that before in the middle of the mall. They spin the wheels and you maybe get a free trip or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's really fun.
The only thing that sucks is no free trips.
Yeah, no free trips, nowhere. Apparently Americans can't go anywhere. But what made you start the company? Plantitas?
It's so funny because I do crafting just to decompress.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always, who knows who's not stressed all the time, right?
Yeah.
And I came back from Texas. We took this really cute picture. And I was like, okay, I'm going to, fix up the plate, like the frame.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'll just order some random fox succulents off the web.
Yeah.
And I created a frame. And I was like, okay, this will go to my cubicle. Like it'll stimulate my mind throughout the day. Because it's like, you're sitting on a desk. And just sitting there, it's just kind of like you need to give something to your mind, like to help kind of distract you from what's
something like something from outside, something live.
So then I was sitting there nervous, like, oh, I really like your frame. Are those real? And I was like, oh yeah. And then I brought my own like little plant. Uh-huh. And the reason I went with succulents is because I am bad with flowers.
Same. I'm terrible. They'll die.
They'll die.
Yeah, like sometimes how you buy a flower and it says like recommended time, maybe like a week or two. Mm-hmm. Like the next day they're just dead. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Like,
to be honest with you, I feel like it's a cultural condition mindset where like you don't read the instructions.
Oh, it's just more like just
keep an eye on it, water it. Oh, why don't you do this or that? Like growing up, I always had the little tags because my grandma, she does plant. Her garden's like amazing.
Yeah.
But just beware, don't have like a plant nearby because she's like, oh, can I have a little piece of it?
Oh, wow.
But I mean, it's kind of cool because she'll take it and she transforms like these little plants and then they just like grow like crazy. I mean.
Yeah, she has a green thumb.
Yeah but like
really
she has like a couple shrubs, and a couple plants that she's had for like over 12 years.
Jesus.
She's grown orchids, like taken care of them at home.
Mm-hmm.
And she has one that's been there for over like 12, 13, 15 years, actually. 15
Wow.
years. So, I
So
mean,
she
I've been
takes
always
care of
around
them.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you have a dead plant, just give it to her. She'll help you. So basically, I grew up around like people that like plants.
Mm-hmm. What does she
Um,
think about you doing
oh,
this?
she's excited.
She's like,
She's like,
yes, finally we
yeah.
have something.
She's like, oh, and look, come listen, come on, look at my plants over here. This is growing. Like we have a conversation. Like
yeah.
we've been close, but I just feel like it's just another thing to be even closer.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like you're passionate about your company
Mhm.
and you hustle hard because you're always posting, you're always making sure people like the idea with the raffle that you got going on right now.
Mhm.
It's like you can tell you're putting effort into it. And like you said, like at first it was just a side hustle, but now you're getting like invitations to go do stuff like the walkthrough. So
Mhm.
it's exciting when things start growing and
Growing.
you're like, oh my God, people are paying attention and stuff like that. And I mean, it's a great product. I have it all over my little shelf
So
here.
here.
Yeah, I got it right here. I got these on the side. All of them are plastic. You just gave me a live one, and I'm a little nervous. I don't know. Should I water it after this, or just got
No,
pre-water?
because it's already pre-watered.
Uh-huh.
I would just keep an. I can give you further instruction after
Yeah.
for sure.
So when you buy one of these, you
Mhm.
get this like envelope, and it has instructions on how to take care of it, right?
Yes.
Cool.
Oh yeah. So because we got a little sidetracked.
Yeah, it's all right.
But the reason I started the company too is because I work with multiple women,
Mhm.
multiple like people, and they were like, oh, I need something for my cubicle.
Oh,
And then I
okay.
started going, I'm like, wait, I could be the one to provide
Supply,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. And then obviously, I'm like, I started buying my little supplies in my little corner.
Mhm.
And that's when the corona hit.
Yes. And everything went away.
And everything was just kind of like quiet for a while. I mean, it gave me extra time because working from home.
Mhm.
So it gave me extra time to be like, in between breaks and stuff. And no, it kept
Just-
me not bored.
Yeah, a lot of people had to figure out things to do while they were in quarantine. So that's not a bad hobby to have.
Yeah, but it was a little difficult just because since I work in the medical field,
Mm-hmm.
it's like it was more like in between I'd be like working on it and on the phone because I was so stressful. The time was so beyond stressful.
Why? Just people were calling in about the.
Yeah, because it's like it's so uncertain to the point where like our scripting to what we need to ask
Yeah.
is just it would change. I'm not kidding you, like every 5 minutes.
Oh wow.
And it's like you are also like checked on you making sure that you are going over that with the patient.
Yeah.
And then you also have to deal with not everyone's in the medical field. So
Mhm.
you're there to provide that help.
Yeah.
So if you go like, oh, my stomach hurts. Oh, okay, but like you need to ask a little bit more, like more questions.
More detailed.
So it was a little harder with the corona just because one, the medical field doesn't even like it was so brand new. And
Okay.
then for other people to say like very blandly, like, okay, so I have a headache. And I'm worried about the corona.
They think they got it.
And they got it. Yeah,
Mhm.
they think they got it. But it's like understandable because at this point, any symptom you're
Seems
having,
like it. Yeah.
back in late November, we did see a spike in influenza.
Okay.
And it was quite odd. And now looking back, it's not a surprise.
Because
That
it was.
was-
It should have been that.
It could have been that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just because I mean, we're talking about like adults calling for like influenza A and B.
Oh wow.
And it's not that common. Well, as of what, because I worked on the floors too.
Mhm.
It's not very common to see the flu unless you really don't take care of yourself.
Yeah, I don't remember the last time I had the flu.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So
I've
it's
had like a
kinda
really
odd.
bad cold, but I wouldn't say I had the flu.
Like you get like knocked out, right?
Yeah, just like you're done. Like the flu will fuck you up. But when it comes to like, I think when you first hear about the coronavirus, you start thinking anything is a symptom. Like I remember thinking like my throat is dry. Like, fuck, do I have it? Like, like
Like this is the day.
yeah. And like a lot of people felt pressures to not say anything about it because, especially with me, like if I said something at work, it's the responsible thing to say, but also I'd be losing 2 weeks of work. And I was like, "Oh, what am I going to do for money?" And my sister's actually, she works like with a doctor. And I was like, "Do you think I should see her?" And then she's like, "Well, you look fine." And I was like, "Yeah, I guess." Like it was that reassuring little
Like,
comment that was like,
thank you.
"You're right. I don't think I have it." So,
To be honest, with the corona, like this is just my perspective on things. So back to the flu, the whole thing is like something was up.
yeah.
Because no, I'm telling you, like every call was a flu symptom.
Yeah.
I'm having flu-like symptoms. Oh, I can't miss work.
Yeah.
And then you think that's the thing about, I think the hard part about handling it in our country is because it's like go, 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 go.
Yeah.
Because prior to that, my theory is like, we don't have an established thing about, the well-being of everyone. As far as like, other countries, like we provide insurance health for everyone.
Yeah.
We provide if you're sick or sick leave for everyone. Like they have that flexibility and that kind of foundation.
Okay.
And we don't. Like, let's be frank, we don't.
No, it's because it became a political thing.
It's come to a point where like it's become a political thing because I think with time, the changes, it's just becoming harder. Like I know a lot of older like Hispanic parents were like, by that age I was married and da 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 da, But it's like, yeah, but the price on things are more expensive.
Yeah.
The debt is worse.
Yeah.
And the older generations, like, it's not me aiming at them, but it's at the same time, it's like, you got to think about it. Like, you went through this and you got where you wanted because it was easier.
Yeah. I mean, a house was worth $50,000 back then. Now it's like $150,000.
You want $50,000, you're buying just the land to make the
house. Yeah. You're not getting, you're going to get a tenth. Yeah. You're not going to get a lot for 50 grand. But it's like saying like the prices go up, but the pay doesn't, kind of stays the same.
Yeah.
Maybe they raise the minimum wage, but what people make on average kind of stays the same when everything else is going up.
Pretty much. It's like, let me pay you this much. And then, like you said, like go figure it out. Just like, and that, I think that mindset's really what's tearing us down when, reconstructing. Because now it's like, just give me the money. Like, I just need the money. I need help. Everyone's kind of like in chaos. And it's understandable. I think our generations, what can you say? Like what happened back in 2003 with the recession, with the home.
That was 2008.
2008?
Yeah. Yeah, wow. That's when the house market crashed.
My dad's in real estate. I can't do anything about No, but yeah, I mean, it was building up.
Yeah.
And, my dad was around the same age as me, a little older. And I think this is kind of our form. We're just getting hit with a pandemic.
It's rough. Yeah, it's a recession. People are losing their jobs. They just stopped doing the 600 extra for unemployment. So you're going to see a lot of people struggle.
To be frank with you, being an essential worker, I would have taken a step back and said, I don't want that extra money because I'm still working.
Well, yeah.
And
you got it while you were working?
Yeah. So I'm still working. I'm an essential worker. So I work for the company, like a hospital.
Sure.
But to me, it was that. I think that's what the part was a little slightly unfair. Because we're still working. And I think that extra money could have gone to someone who needed it.
Yeah.
And then just maybe get a compensate after. But
yeah, well, the way the government works, if you say I don't want it, they won't give it to you, but they're not going to give it to somebody else.
Oh yeah, that's a sad part.
They're just going to keep it for themselves. They're like, all right, you don't want it, fine, we're not going to give it to you. But
I saw some pretty cool videos though, where like people were like who didn't need it. We're going
give it to other people. Sure, you could give it to it, but the government's never going to do that.
It's just so like it's just so
You're good.
it's really sad.
Yeah, well, the reason why you're wearing a mask while people are wondering is because you had COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah. How did that feel? Did you have like really bad symptoms or was it more fear than?
No, it was. I mean, I know a lot of people will be like, honestly, you won't know until you speak to someone who has it.
You're the first person I've ever talked to that has it.
So it's like people will be scared of the situation,
Mm-hmm.
but when they hear it, it's kind of like I think like it sets in. So yeah, back to the whole flu thing. It got worse. I got the flu in March.
Okay.
And, you know, looking back, I'm like, did I get COVID again? Like twice in a row?
And they say you could get it twice, yeah.
Yeah, even if you've had it, like you can carry it and give it to. So that's why I'm wearing the mask, because I'm just paranoid like that now.
Just don't want to give it to.
Yeah, because it's like, you know, we're cool and stuff, but like I'm not around you guys as often. So
Yeah.
it's not like you're my like everyday people.
It's like social bubble, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, I don't want to make sure I'm not carrying it and I'm not getting symptoms, but I don't want to give it to you.
Sure. Thank you.
So, yeah, so I got pretty sick and I was like, this isn't like me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, spent like literally 3-4 days in bed with the flu. And this was just the flu.
Yeah.
And then fast forward like a month and a half later, we're being sent home because of COVID.
Oh, wow.
And everything was fine. And then my dad's immune system was pretty down.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, again, it's just the lack of knowledge and understanding because nobody really knows what's going on.
Yeah.
So my dad was about his day. You know, he would go get the food and stuff. His immune system was down. And he even went to the doctor and they said, oh, you know, it's just pneumonia. It's just a cold.
That seems kind of scary, though. Just to say it's just pneumonia. It's like,
It's just in general, like it's
don't
pneumonia.
people die from that? Like, isn't that water in your lungs? Like,
I'm not very happy where he went. Thank God it wasn't where I work. I would have been so like, I'm done.
Yeah, there's some weird doctors out there who just chalk it up to whatever.
It wasn't right because they were just playing it off like, oh, you just have a cold. But you would think you would be like, go home and take these precautions.
Mm-hmm.
Not just saying like, oh, don't worry about it. It's just a cold.
Yeah.
Like you should be fine around your family. It's literally, that's what they said to him.
Wow.
And he just wasn't getting better.
Yeah.
And he eventually went back and they did an x-ray in his chest. And he had 2 little smudges on his chest and like lungs. Yeah. And they're like, oh, it's just pneumonia. Go home and you just have a stomach bacteria. Like, just go home.
What?
And then they gave him the wrong antibiotics. I was like, why are they giving you this? That's the bad thing about having people that
because
work
of
in
the
medical.
bacteria. Well, antibiotics like kill everything in
Yeah,
your
but
stomach?
there's certain antibiotics that you should take and which ones you shouldn't take.
Oh, okay.
So this is why people should not share their medications.
True that, yeah.
I mean, I've known people that take urinary tract infection antibiotics when they should be taking ones for sinus.
Oh, wow.
So big emphasis, don't share.
So it's not doing anything for the sinus?
No.
Okay.
Because that's why there's certain antibiotics, because they're fighting certain things like bacteria.
All right, so they send him home with the wrong antibiotics and
then I'm questioning it.
Okay.
And then I'm questioning his symptoms. And as the scripting was changing, that's how I would try to like figure out what's going on with my dad.
Yeah.
So eventually he got really bad, like fevers. He couldn't even get up.
Jesus.
And then eventually like he went to the doctor and he's like, well, you know, it's like you have COVID.
Yeah. So the first 2 times nobody did a test?
No.
Not a swab or, hey, like this is going on?
On top of that, the tests were so limited that you couldn't even just be easily tested like that. Unless you were literally in the hospital.
Yeah, now you could go to Walgreens and get it.
Yeah, it's like
which is insane.
6-7 days, or your doctor can refer you to the lab and stuff. So it's pretty cool.
But back then they didn't have.
Oh no, it was like pioneer, like straight up.
You would think like the United States would have something in plan right away too, because it didn't start here and it got here kind of late. You know, you had like rumors that came from China. And then it hit Europe, mainly Italy.
It's like you would think that they're like, oh, like, let's get going on this.
It's like seeing it come and you're not doing anything about it. And when it hits you, then you freak out and just shut everything down. But not really.
I'll reserve my comments on who I put to blame.
Oh, I got a book about him right there.
He's hurt so many people in many ways that we can't even imagine, right? But they looked back that they were blaming, you know, the Obama administration, but it turns out there was actually a backup plan that wasn't approved.
Yeah, he cut the funding to the pandemic board. So he just eliminated that because he said, we don't really need that. And then a year later, you get hit with a pandemic. So it's like cutting the firefighters and then having your house catch on fire.
Yeah, that's a really
So it's
good.
like,
Yeah.
all right, now that we need them, we thought they were useless because our house has never been on fire. Now it's on fire and nobody can stop it.
To be honest, though, I'm just surprised that you would think that once the cases started picking up like a trace, that they would have taken a more like effective action, and they didn't. And so with my dad, when he couldn't even get tested,
yeah,
you know, it was alarming. It was scary. But the doctor, he went into the doctor and he's like, "You have pneumonia and you have COVID. You need to go straight to the hospital."
Jesus.
And it was just like, boom, let's go.
So they sent him.
Yeah, right away.
Yeah.
And he got some taken care of. He comes back home. We are isolating him. But he got to the point where, like, I'm breathing fine, but his oxygen levels started going down. So then he was taken to the hospital.
Scary.
And to tell you the truth, if I wasn't paranoid before,
I'm sure. Yeah, now you were.
That shit hit me to the max.
Yeah, I mean, I remember seeing some of your stories on Instagram, and it was like you were saying like this happened to my dad. And first you made a statement because of the PLANTITAS company, right? You said like, due to this, it won't be. Like,
I literally was afraid to touch it.
Yeah.
I mean, they told me, like, you know, you can only pass it because it's droplet. So if you sneeze on it, if you touch it, if you whatever.
Yeah.
Like sweat.
It's not gonna be on the plant.
On the plant or anything.
Sure.
But I was like, I'm not touching it because you don't even know what the heck's going on. I'm sorry, I can't take that advice, and I can't do it to people. So it was the worst and saddest thing I think I could have gone through.
Just seeing your dad in that situation.
Yeah, and I mean, I know it's like because you guys follow me and stuff, but like it had already been a really tough couple months.
Yeah, didn't your like street flood? And I just remember thinking like,
that was after.
You put that there.
That shit was like one thing after the other. I mean, I know like I express it a lot, but I think it's healthy to express it. But my great grandma passed away in September. My mom went to surgery 1 week after because she was just like, I gotta get this done.
Yeah.
And I almost lost her.
Jesus.
And then I was like, okay, this, you know, stress time.
Yeah.
And then I got sick, and I think that kind of put me down too, because, you know, your immunity comes down.
Yeah.
You know, you're trying to pick yourself up. And then my dad's stuff happened. And I was like, shit.
It's just a rough.
I was like, now I get what everybody's 2020. And by the way, it's really sad that Kobe left too. Like, I think that's another thing that was like, what the fuck?
That hit you too? That was around that time.
Yeah, that was January.
Yeah, there's times where I think about it, I'm like, damn, Kobe died.
Yeah.
And which is weird because like you think these people are supposed to be around for a while. You see the old basketball stars and stuff like that, and you're like, damn, Kobe Bryant died.
I think it teaches a lot about not taking advantage of, you know, like take advantage of who's around you and stuff.
Yeah, you don't. So the story behind Kobe was that he took helicopters so he could spend more time with his family. But in the end,
that's what killed him.
Yeah, that's what stopped you from being with your family forever, which is, it's tragic. But so
it's like a freak accident. I thought it was a freak accident.
Yeah, so the pilot error and stuff like that, like details did come out on what happened with the helicopter and stuff like that. But it's like, yeah, just an accident. Yeah. And sometimes people end up dead because of accidents.
And it's weird how like they're celebrities, but how much we, you know, feel for them too. You know what in the perspective.
I don't know. It's
not
hard.
like, oh my God, I'm gonna be like in isolation and I'm gonna be super depressed.
I always thought that was weird when people are like, I'm so devastated. And it's like, yes, I understand that it's sad when a celebrity dies and you're never going to see their work. Maybe like Juice WRLD dies and you're like, man, I'm never going to hear one of his songs. Or Kobe, like you're never going to see him in an interview or whatever. Because Kobe, after basketball, he started his own production company and stuff like that. So it's like, I used to watch interviews, not just because of basketball, because of what he had to say. He had a lot of great things to say. And it's like, it's sad that you're never going to hear from him again.
That depends. I think it depends on what kind of connection you have that you know, like there's a lot of people that say like, oh, I follow this artist because it helped me get through.
Yeah. So like music and stuff like that.
I understand.
There's an emotional connection, but to say I'm devastated, it's like,
Yeah.
calm down.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, I guess it really depends on how you got to know like the person. But I think it's just a shock. It's just the form of shock.
Yeah.
I think more too, I was like, crap, because again, I almost lost my mom too. And I was
Yeah.
like, shit, like death is
Yeah,
everywhere.
that's rougher than Kobe dying. That's
like
personal.
my mom. I mean, like I woke up from work and they're like, "Oh, your mom's out of the ICU," and I was like, "What the hell?"
Jesus Christ.
And then that's like, "Well, we didn't want to tell you guys. We have this thing where like they never want to tell us what's going on, which is really bad. I don't like it."
Well, they don't want to worry you, you know.
Yeah, but I think I stress more.
Just thinking like the what ifs and what's happening.
Yeah, because I'm really that type of person where like shit's happening. All right, let's get this going. Let's look at what's going on. Like, let's move forward. Like, I like to just let's go at it.
Yeah, let's try to figure it out.
If you tell me afterwards, I'm just like shit.
Yeah, what the fuck?
like, come on.
You could have told me, yeah.
Yeah, but no. And then my dad thing happened, and honestly, I really thought I was gonna lose him
because of the COVID.
Yeah, because one, he had pneumonia.
That's rough. That's the rough one.
And it was, I guess, pressing down on the lungs even more. And with the COVID, it was causing a lot more strain.
So he couldn't breathe.
He couldn't breathe.
Hard to breathe.
But he was to another level of I couldn't breathe. Like,
ventilator
the man
levels?
was on 8, like moving from 9 to 8 liters for like almost 2 weeks. And then towards the end of the week, no, at the beginning of the week, it was a rough week. And they told me, like, there's this drug that's out there that I'm using on patients. It's working really good. But we only know based on how they're reacting.
What's the drug? The chloroquine one?
I mean, yeah, they tried that, but they also tried to figure out a different one. It's more of a reduce the inflammation on people with arthritis.
Oh, okay.
And so we're like, he's like, I've tried this. There's other people around the world that's tried this and it's worked. So it was either take a chance or we would get to the point of ventilation.
So what I heard with ventilation is like once they put you in a ventilator, your body stops working because it's like, oh, I'll just give this job to the machine. So it's really
the lungs not working no more.
Yeah, it's just this machine's keeping you alive. But that's how. So they gave him the medicine,
and it thankfully helped.
Oh, thank God. So
then it started going down, and we're like, okay, cool. And then, we just started seeing progress. But it was just hard because, and then you saw my snaps. I was like, please, everyone, like, take care of yourselves. Take care of yourselves. But because it's hard, too, because you can't go see them.
That's the scary part for me.
Not
just having it, because, what do you mean?
Like, the comfort, like, you go see your person. You have the comfort that, like, I saw them.
Yeah.
They're fine.
Yeah. Well, the scary thing is, like, I have, like, a weird view on death. Like, I get that people die. It's inevitable. Like, you're going to die. You, me, everybody in this house one day will not be here. And that kind of, like, motivates me to do things that I normally wouldn't, just because I'm like, one day I'm not going to be here. So I might as well do the things I want to do before I die. And when I die, I hope that my family is around me. And, being in a room alone and you just die, like, that's got to be terrible. It's going to be like one of my biggest fears. Like, you're going to die alone. Like, can't even hold somebody's hand and be like.
Or I think too, being as a parent, because I can imagine him thinking like,
my kids
are, I'm going to die and my kids are in here.
Yeah, like tell you guys goodbye.
Like,
yeah. Well, thankfully.
He was fine.
Yeah.
But it was hard because at the time that he was kind of getting better, my mom got hit with it.
And you got hit with it.
Yeah. And I was more worried about them.
Yeah. That's what I worry about my parents, not myself. Like, I feel like I could make it through, but like my dad has diabetes and my mom has diabetes and my dad has like a lung issue.
Does it make you want to put them in a bubble? Because that's what I wanted to do.
It's tough. Like, they're like old school, like, I'm good kind of people.
Yeah. Oh no, it's nothing. It's all in your head.
Yeah.
Well, when I started feeling the symptoms, my mom was super stressed. I was like, you need to kind of not take care of me right now. You need to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
So it was my dad, my mom, and then literally 2 days after my mom got diagnosed with it, I got hit with it.
Oh yeah, it's you're like there with that person in your house.
My siblings did not get anything.
And they were there with them? Oh, so it was just you three?
I keep saying, like,
That's
my
weird.
siblings, the reason my brother got saved is stupid video games. Sorry for the people that like
Yeah, that's all I do.
He didn't come out of the room. I mean, he was living his
social
best
distancing.
life,
Yeah,
right?
he was quarantining himself,
With video games, bathroom, food. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, to this point now, he's kind of tired of it, obviously.
Really?
Sort of.
He still does it, yeah.
But I say that saved him. My
Mhm.
sister was doing schoolwork downstairs because obviously the university's closed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's how they got saved. But I had taken it upon myself. I'm the older, person, and I need to take care of things, and I need to make sure things are clean.
Mhm.
My parents were gone. I'm like, I got to make sure things are done.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I got hit, because I was just so around it.
Yeah, and just being like so concerned, and I'm sure it was a stressful time for you. Stress can lower your immune system and stuff like that. So
Oh, yeah. And then when I got sick, I mean, I had fevers ranging from 102, and it would break, and I would be sweating, like when you break a sweat from the fever. And I always tell people, like, I literally, like, the whole bed, my whole clothes were just like drenched.
Yeah.
Like, it was crazy. Like, I'm like, holy crap. Like, is it this bad?
You get hot. So every time I get a cold and I know I have a fever, I understand that fever's the body's way of just ramping up the temperature to kill whatever's
the bacteria.
Bacteria, yeah. So what I do is when I go to bed, I put on like 2 pairs of like pants, like a hoodie, and then like one of those Mexican cobijas, and maybe like even a hat, and then I just chug a water and go to bed.
Oh,
and when I wake up, it's just like a pool of sweat.
Your handmade, like, what is it
like
called?
Sauna.
Sauna.
Yeah, the sauna. Yeah, I'm just trying to like.
I should try that one of these. Well, hopefully not get sick.
It's always worked for me. It's made it better, or just made it like go away.
Well, I'll tell you what, your system, I think, would have never worked with this virus. It was that bad.
Jesus.
I mean, I'm talking about but no, I'm saying like to express how bad it was.
Yeah.
And in one moment I'd be like, oh, I'm good, and I'm dancing around my room because like I can't do anything else. Come out of the room.
You just quarantined.
And then it finally got worse, where like the cough got worse, and that's when I knew that the infection was kind of like pushing up.
Mm-hmm.
And next thing I know, I said I couldn't even walk from here to probably where your chair is, but besides kind of like cutting off oxygen.
Jesus.
It was bad.
So you went to the hospital.
So that's the only time they admitted me. So that's what I'm talking about. Like, like when it first started, like shit was bad. Whoever got it and got through it, like shit was.
Well, a lot of people didn't.
It felt like we were working in third world, like we're in the third world.
I mean, when shit hits the fan, that's what it's gonna feel like. And imagine how it feels like. I have family in a third world country, which is Guatemala, and it's just like.
How are they doing?
Oh, the quarantine's really bad over there. So it's like you can't go out past 6 or they'll put you literally in jail. Like,
I know it sounds really weird, but I wish that could have happened here.
Me too.
To the extreme.
Yeah, just shut it all down for like a month and a half. Nobody goes anywhere.
It's like, suck it up. You do have all this like technology, this comfort in your home.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on.
The thing is, like, if they would have done that, maybe we could have gotten rid of it. But they didn't. And they did these soft closings, like maybe, 50%, then we're closed, when they should have just shut everything down.
Because it goes back to like the country always has to go, 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 go.
Yeah, but now nobody's going because
they don't. But I guess it goes back to that foundation I was telling you about.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have the ability to stay home and then have a pay. And that's how this country works.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't run an economy with no money.
I mean, it's scary to think about the people who don't have like medical insurance.
Mm.
I don't know why. I feel lucky.
That broke my heart.
Yeah, I feel lucky that since I was like a kid, I've had insurance, whether it was my mom. And then once I got a job, I started getting my own insurance. But like, I've never had a problem going to a doctor or going to the hospital. There's people that are like, if I go to a hospital, it's going to be like a $5,000 thing and I can't afford that. So they don't go.
And what happens? Like they'd pass away. And that was the hardest, because I came across people that, the best that I could tell them was, just take a deep breath. Like, we're going to do the best that we can.
But it's tough when they don't have
But
medical insurance or anything like that. Right?
yeah, and it's just kind of like, it's like you're lost for words.
So what happens when somebody doesn't have insurance? What do you guys do?
Financial assistance.
Okay.
But it's just, I don't know. I just feel like the whole insurance thing, like, it shouldn't be a luxury.
Yeah, it should be like universal, but
like, yeah, it's really sad. It's like, okay, I don't care if you're a bum. Honestly, to this point, I don't care if you're a bum. You need healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what causes a lot of people to be like, I don't care.
Well, a lot of bums go to prison because they get healthcare there. They're already on the street. They're like, I might as well just.
I'm talking about the bums that are not in the jail,
There's some that aren't because they don't want to be. But there's a lot of people do go to jail. They'll do some and they're streetwise because they have to survive out there. Yeah. So they're like, oh, what crime could get me like maybe 2 months in jail? So they do that, and then they get sent to fucking county. They get meals every day, somewhere to sleep, and if they get injured or anything, they have that medical ability.
Yeah, but I don't think a lot of people do. And like, for example, like people that immigrate here, and then they don't have that ability to like, okay, I'm gonna go work, but I don't know if I'll be able to work tomorrow, or like that's stability.
Yeah, those are the people you should feel bad for, not.
And then
fuck the bums. They chose that life.
True.
If I'm gonna be a bum,
I'm very anti-bum too, but what this COVID has taught me is it doesn't matter.
Yeah, they should. Everybody should have something, but when it comes to bombs, I'm like.
Well, you get the bombs where like literally like you don't even want to move a finger, and you're like kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But then you got the bombs where like I don't have the motivation, I don't have the, like I don't know. It's like I'm really going into this, but I feel like we base everything so general, and I get it.
What do you mean?
Like I can meet someone that's a bum, and
you just think he's lazy.
It's just like okay, it's like whatever, but I don't know what their struggle is.
Maybe they have a mental issue, addiction.
And again, that just rolls into though.
Yeah. Well, so like my perspective on bums was when I was a kid, we went to Chicago, and this guy asked my mom for money, and my mom was like, "Well, what do you want the money for?" And he goes, "For food." And I think she was trying to teach me a lesson, or maybe she wasn't. She just legitimately asked him, and she's like, "Okay, like there's a McDonald's right there. You want me to get you food?" And he got like really angry. He's like, "No, just give me the money." And then she's like, "Well, you said you're hungry. I'm willing to pay for your meal." And then he's like, "Give me the fucking money." And he got like really aggro with her. And she's like, "Yeah, see, you don't
just give your money.
You don't want the food." And she literally went into the McDonald's and got him food, brought it back to him. He's like, "I don't want that." So it was just like, my perspective was like, this person didn't want the help.
So he wanted
it. He wanted drugs or something. I don't know what he wanted.
And I think that's what it is. Like, if you don't want it, if you don't reach out to help, or when people reach out to you, if you don't take it,
that's on you.
That's on you. That's it.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, I tend to do that. I'm like, oh, here. I used to do that. I'm like, here's $1. Here's $2. And my boyfriend's like, why? And I'm like, because you know what? I'm promised $1 or $2 tomorrow, but not him. He's like, but it's going to be for drugs. You know what? I think it's just the like, to me, it was like, well, I'm just like, used to like, hey, let me help you.
You're a nice person.
I guess, yeah, sure. But then eventually I was like, screw this.
Yeah, go do something.
When I see a bum, I go and I buy food, and I don't even ask them. I just take it to them. I'm just like, I see someone on the phone, because a couple of years back, I went and I saw this poor guy. He had like a little candle. He didn't even want to look up. I think sometimes, again, I don't know the circumstances for why he's a bum.
Yeah.
But I also think like, it takes a lot of your pride away to be sitting outside.
At that point, I don't think they care. I think their pride.
I mean, yeah, your pride's gone by then. Yeah. You got to do what you got to do to survive.
If you're going to sit there. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Hunger will, in your brain, will override pride any day. If you're hungry.
But this guy, he said like a little candle and stuff. He wasn't even asking for.
He was just sitting there?
He was just sitting there.
Yeah.
And when I see them like on like their head down, agachado, I'm like, To me, that's like, damn, that's a broken man right there.
Let me help.
Go grab food. I just take it to them.
Okay. Well, at least you're not
Screw
giving
it.
money. Just giving food.
Just
yeah.
food, yeah. Because
Yeah.
I learned, yeah. I'm like, stop.
That's rough. Yeah. So one time I would go to Planet Fitness, and my Planets were right next to like a Walmart, but it's just like the groceries, like a Joe's Caputo, but Walmart version of it. And after my workout, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get some food. So I went into the grocery store, I bought the food, and as I was walking out, I had these bags full of food, and you see this guy just sleeping next to the red box, just like middle of summer, just sleeping there. And I was like, how lucky am I that I get to decide when I could get food and walk into the store and just buy whatever I want. But look at this guy. He literally, maybe he's hungry or whatnot. So what I did was I went and got him food. I woke him up and I was like, there's water, there's a sandwich, and there's $5. And then he woke up and he's just like,
Thanks.
Yeah, he was like, thank you. But he's like, am I dreaming? And I was like, no, dude, you're not dreaming. It's literally just trying to get you through the night.
I think most of like me like wanting to always help, it really does come from my mom and my parents.
Yeah, they instilled those values.
Because she always said like, you don't know where you're gonna end up.
Yeah.
And when I will refer when the stock market, like not stock market, the market for the houses,
the housing market, yeah,
like went down.
Yeah,
it hit us rough. I mean, my dad was self-employed. He was like, business was like booming, like crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, he owned 7 homes.
God.
And everything was fine. And then it hit us.
Well, have you seen The Big Short?
No.
It's about the housing crisis and what actually happened.
With is it from Wall Street? Is it with the connection of Wall Street?
It's in Wall Street. It has like Steve, the guy from The Office. What's his name? Carell. It has what's the white boy? The one that girls love.
I don't know.
Have you seen Stupid Crazy Love?
It could have been a while. Is it Ashton Kutcher?
No, it's not Ashton Kutcher. It's not.
I'm so behind my time.
His name is slipping from my mind, but well, whatever. This movie literally like just explains why it happened, and it was just like banks started not paying attention to what they were selling, and people. It was easy for people to get not just one house, but a lot of houses, and there was no credit checks. FICO scores weren't getting checked, and you didn't even have to get employed.
The Wall Street knew what was going to happen, but they just kind of let it go.
They just kept doing it because they would get the money, like the initial, like maybe a down payment or anything. So they just wanted the money, and they said, "Fuck it! If you go delinquent on this mortgage, that's on you." But when everybody's going delinquent on your mortgage, you're gonna have a huge economical problem.
Oh yeah.
So this movie's like, you should watch it. It's really good.
My dad's watched it.
I'm sure he has. Yeah.
He's like, yeah. But no, I mean, his investments were pretty good. I'm telling you.
8 houses?
Yeah, 7 to 8 houses. And I'm telling you, like, business was booming.
Yeah.
And he used it as an investment. So, like, if he had a house, maybe he could, like, rent it out. Like, but it was, So it's like, it's money coming in.
Sure.
So when it hit us, obviously it was a new reality. When I was younger, smaller, I wasn't like, oh, I can buy whatever I want, like kind of.
You were just balling.
Not balling, but, I was never like, oh, I know I'm rich or whatever. Yeah. I mean, I came from sleeping with cockroaches when I was a baby.
Yeah.
To then coming to my first house probably when I was like 8, maybe?
Sure.
Around there. 6, actually. 6. But when we were there, we were pretty comfortable. It wasn't like we're rich, but we're comfortable. So when that hit us, that hit hard.
Yeah.
And it taught me like, anytime you're gonna, you can be thriving, and then all of a sudden just boom, everything falls off.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why when I go out and I see bums, I kind of say like, I don't know their situation.
Yeah.
I will say I don't like people that can't attain certain things and don't go and get it. Do you know what I'm referring to?
I get what you're saying.
That's a different form of a bum for me.
Yeah, no, this guy, we were in the CTA, and usually they ask you for money.
Mhm.
And sure, I was just in a bad mood. I don't know what I was mad about, but he came up to me and asked for me. He's like, "Can I get some money?" And I was like, "You're standing right now and using both arms. You tell me you can't get a job?" And he looked at me. He's like, "Fine, don't give me money." And then he just walked away. And then I was like, it might have been rude, but I had a fucking point because I have 2 working arms, 2 working legs, and
I mean, he easily could have said like, like you could have seen that genuine human in him. Like, oh damn, like you're right. Like,
yeah,
instead he was just like, fuck it.
yeah. He's like, "Oh shit,
All
not
right,
this
then
one,
fuck
not this
it.
one. He's not gonna give me any money." Yeah,
No, yeah, but I don't know. I'd just say like food, anything. Like, you just never know.
hmm
People that like, sometimes I'll have like a little bit like, yeah, I kind of don't like you, whatever. I still kind of look at that. I'm like, but damn, like you still need help. Like,
yeah.
I like being helpful, and I think I don't know.
Well, I mean, there's other ways to help. You can go to like a community, like church, where they feed the homeless or anything like that.
I used to do that in high school.
Yeah, so, and a lot of people do that because they like you, they like to help, but there's better ways of helping these people than
Then,
just giving them money because you don't know where that money's gonna go.
Mhm.
And maybe if you go volunteer or something, you get to hear some of Jesus Christ. Sorry.
That's right.
Yeah. You get to hear the stories behind this person.
Because if you want the help, you go and get it.
Yes, and these people are willing to go get a jacket. You know, Chicago does that.
Mhm.
They'll do coat drives for people who can't afford coats.
I think when people go out and you say, "Hey, I need help. Hey, can you whatever?"
hmm
I think a lot of people would say like, "Oh, damn, you don't have pride. You're over there asking." But I think that has
No,
to be the most bravest thing a person can
yeah,
do is to
because
say, "Can you help me?"
you're swallowing up your pride and you're saying, "Hey, I need you because I can't do it."
Hmm.
And hopefully, you're never in that situation. Hopefully, I'm never in that situation. It doesn't look like it.
So
You seem
far.
to like. I always told Jazz, and I'm like, the reason why I think Jasmine's company is going to be successful is just because of her talent. There's something about her patience and just being able to like understand where things go in the things she customizes that really like I can't do it. I've seen her do it and I'm just like I cannot do that. But then I also told her like the reason why I'm so adamant about telling people to go check you out is because you seem to just have it all together. Like you're very diligent when it comes to business. Like you make sure that you're posting your products, you're experimenting with new things like live. At first it was just like what do you call it? Flux or fuck?
It's faux. It
Faux.
sounds like Fox,
Because there's an
FAQX,
X in there.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
But it just what is what does that mean? It just means that
It's
you're
artificial.
okay.
Yeah.
And then you moved on to live plants and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So it's just like you're innovating and you're being diligent with your work. And even the stuff I've gotten is great, So it's like a good quality product. And I have it in me that I'm like, these people are going to succeed in what they're doing.
I like looking here because it's like your little first plant I made,
Yeah.
and then the one you got,
Yeah.
and then the other one I made after.
Yeah. The one you sent.
And now you have a live plant. It's like
I'm
you
scared.
can see the type.
I don't know if people can see it.
It fell.
It fell. You dropped it from the car. It's like you can see the whole plant, but
We'll fix that. We'll take care of that.
yeah, it's awesome. I mean, I hope he doesn't die. Don't die,
And
little
we
buddy.
gotta tell everybody why I got you the life plant, even though you keep
Oh.
saying you're gonna kill it.
I don't trust myself. You're like I'll put it on the thing and I'll look at it, and then eventually I'm like, all right, it's a living thing. It needs water.
It struck me because one of the things that struck me from your last podcast was saying how you want to like build like yourself, your growth.
Yeah.
So I was like, I think it's time for Rudy to get a life plant because then he can see from where it started because hopefully we're not going to kill it.
I'll try my best. I'll keep it somewhere where I'm
You
physically
have to
walking by.
hold it against for yourself that plant's not going to die.
Yeah, I'll
All
do
right.
that. Okay.
So that's what you
That's
got,
my
like
that's one
motivation
of my
right there.
goals. Yeah.
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 And see how big it could, because those babies can get big.
Well, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put it on my desk
Mm-hmm.
because 90% of the time I'm sitting there editing maybe a picture or a podcast, and I have water on me.
Mm-hmm.
So just drink some, give it to the plant.
Don't overwater it
I
either.
won't. Yeah. Okay. So what is does this thing come with instructions? I know you wrote
I
something
told
really
you
nice
I
on the
did.
thing.
I put the little sticker because that one came out with
the
the
sticker
thing.
has it.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll actually handwritten it. I'm starting to type it and laminate it, by the way.
Oh.
Another little change. Yeah, you don't want to kill it. You don't
See,
want
it
to
says water thoroughly when soil is dry.
Mm-hmm. So when it's dry,
That just means to drench the fucking thing.
drench the fucking thing and then leave it alone.
It's I can't even read these words.
It's because
how do you even order this stuff? I would order the wrong fucking. I get plutonium in the mail.
It goes back to what I was telling you that like I don't follow like the instructions originally.
It's just like
it's like tantearle, or what do you call it?
Like just
like
tweak it,
eye it out.
Uh-huh.
But now I gotta really learn how to, because if people ask me, you know, I can't be just like, oh, eye it.
Yeah, because I don't know how to eye it. I always thought about what were we talking about before?
I don't know, but this conversation seems fun.
Oh, the whole strip club thing? Yeah, we could talk about that.
So when I started dating him, my boyfriend,
yes,
Eric's like, this is what I like about Eric. He's so like old school, but he's not to the point, honestly, where he's like, you know, like a machista, like, you know, but he's old school, and he has like that kind of like homey vibe, like home vibe. So I was 19. 19 was like, ooh, fuck it. You know, by 19, fuck everything.
Yeah.
And I was like, Eric, you should go to a strip club for your birthday. We were friends. And then he's like, no, you know what happens in strip clubs, you know, because we were watching a movie.
Yeah.
And then I was like, no, I just knew it was like strip clubs, whatever. I don't really pay attention to that crap. And then he's like, well, you know, my brothers used to go, like, so I don't really like, I don't know, it just doesn't get my attention.
Yeah.
And I was like, So we started dating, and I was like, Eric, for your birthday, you should go to strip club. And I was like, no, like, not my thing. And I was like, come on, like, I trust you. It's like, whatever. And I was like, I'll go with you.
Oh,
and then my best friend Lupe and I were like, yeah, we'll go with you. Fuck it. Like, you know, it's just for the experience or whatever. And then
you guys went.
It got closer, and I didn't like it.
Like it got closer to the date?
Closer to the day.
To his birthday. Okay.
Yeah, and because at first it was like, okay, sure, like I'll ask the guys. And then all of a sudden, like I see like the hype, I guess, with the guys going, and I was like, okay, cool, like it's gonna let it go. And then eventually I was like, you know what? I want you to just go by yourself with your friends.
Yeah.
I don't think I want to be there.
So he went.
And he went, yeah, because I was like,
how'd you feel about that? Yeah, you gave him your.
I picked him up that day. Blessing. We went to the mall because I was like, I'll do something with you.
Yeah.
But my stomach was churning.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. And I think it's too because, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I did have deep feelings for him.
Yeah.
At the beginning, honestly, that's why we started dating.
Yeah.
But I think it's because, like, it started getting more serious. And I think that's why I was like, okay, this isn't like me. To feel this way.
Yeah, to feel like defensive about the whole situation.
Because he's a freaking amazing, and he's made me feel like changed me for the and this is for the good. Like when you start loving someone, you start loving differently. Yeah. Feeling different. Whatever. Can get mushy and stuff. But so we went to the mall. I picked him up. We went and I was like, my stomach was hurting. And I was like, I'll hang out with you guys a little longer.
Yeah.
And we get there and all the guys are showing up.
All happy because they're going to strip club.
I was like, okay, just don't tell me what happens at the strip club. I trust you, but like, I don't want to hear details, nothing. Okay. And then we have one of our friends was like, oh, do you think we could do this at the strip club? And I was like,
shut up.
Oh, I told him, I was like, shut up.
Yeah, you're making it worse.
I'm right here.
Yeah.
And I got up and I was like, okay, I got to go. Peace. Like, I was kind of mad. I was like, I'm leaving. Like, I'm acting all weird now. Like, bye.
Yeah.
And I met up with a friend, and I remember because I have really good memory, and we were eating ice cream, and my stomach was just,
oh my just God, couldn't take it
the whole damn time. So then I did tell him, like, hey, at least can you text me when you're home So I know you've made it home safely because they went to one in Chicago.
Yeah. I think I know which one.
If you're gonna go dirty, you think you just have to go there.
We've been to a couple.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you.
Yeah. The thing, see, with my girlfriend, like, it's like a thing you do after going to the club or something. You just like, guys get drunk and they're like, let's go to the strip club. I don't know why.
It's a guy thing.
It's a guy thing, yeah. But like,
my thing is, I go to the club, or not. I mean, I don't go to the club, but if I go drinking, I'm like, I want food.
Yeah, it's either food or strip clubs. For guys, it's either or. You either end up at a Taco Burrito King or you end up at Admiral's in Chicago.
Oh, so you know where I was going with this?
Yeah, I'm just saying. Like, for me, it's like I've never. I'm like a guilty person. When I do something wrong, it eats at me. So I'm just like, I have to tell her. It's kind of like, it's a loop in my head. I'm like, she knows. So instead of like being one of these guys that tells their girlfriend, like, we went to eat, and I'll just text her like, hey, we're going to the strip club. So she knows.
You guys have that trust.
Yeah. And
Mrs. for us in the future. I had to say it, Ruby. I had to say it.
Yeah. So she'll be like, I took her to a strip club once just because we were at dinner, and she's like, I've actually never really been to one. So I was like, all right, I'll take you just so you could see what it's like. And I remember the stripper gave her a dance, and she was just like the whole time, like
I'm shook.
Yeah, like, don't touch me. This is weird. But yeah, so I just never wanted to lie to her. And I always felt like good telling her, like, yeah, we're gonna go to strip club, and I'll see you when we're done or whatever.
Oh, yeah. I see. You're not even my dude. And imagining Eric do that, like, I'm not good. I'm not comfortable. I don't know. I think it's just, I don't know. It's just, I have no explanation for it, but other than it makes me uncomfortable.
I remember we had this like argument about how it's like we were at Ponce's house.
Oh, was it Ponce's house?
It was at Leech's house.
Oh, with no, Ponce's house with your friend
Ari.
Ari.
Yeah, and we were like, why don't you let him go? And you're just like, it's not our thing. I don't. It makes me feel weird. I remember you telling us that, and I was just like, but it's like a guy thing. It's not like you're cheating or anything.
But you guys were like, give me like, I was like, oh no, this topic is so serious, like, because he was just telling me, oh yeah, we go and whatever. I think it's just, I mean, in general, I don't like slutty women getting my guy. It's not that I don't trust them. It's a woman thing, I guess, where like, that's my dude, like,
don't touch him.
Don't get near. You want to say hi, friends, whatever. But once you start stepping those grounds, we're gonna have.
Where you're naked and you're doing that.
I think it's I mean, it could be for any woman, but I think it's a very like Hispanic. I can't like bring it up, but because it's my
Latinas are more adamant about what's theirs, and
I mean, I'm not speaking for everyone, and I'm not saying all the races right. Just clearing that in the air.
Yeah,
but. It's just a very old school integration thing where like you go do that. That's very like, it's very taboo.
Yes.
There you go. It's very taboo. Yeah.
It's strange for you. So what happened that night? Did he text you?
Yeah. He texted me.
You're having ice cream.
I finally had a good night's sleep. I went home and I slept and I'm sleeping like a baby. And I get a text and he's like, I'm home. And it was like 2 a.m. and my stomach started hurting again. Because I was like, oh my God, that's so late. Like, what?
What are you doing? Yeah.
Like, I thought you guys were just going to go for like a little bit.
I've gotten out of the strip club at like 5 a.m. So.
Oh my God. I don't know. No. And I called him the next day and I said, hey, how was it? Like, it was an awkward. And it's like, oh, like, how was your day?
What happened?
Like, don't give me details, but like, what, you have fun? Like, whatever. He's like, it was all right. And I was like, okay, it's all right. Like, he's like, because at first he was like, okay, I'll go just to say that I went, like, the experience or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, so, I mean, you got that experience out the way and stuff. And he's like, yeah, but he's like, but I don't know, maybe once in a while we'll go with the guys and it's just kind of like a chill spot. It's not really like to go look at women too. It's just kind of like a guy thing.
Well, some people don't know this, but strip clubs have half-price drinks and decent food. It's like, if you can't be a chef somewhere like reputable, you go to a strip club and you become a chef there. But they have great food. They have buffets.
You hungry? Just go to McDonald's. That's what I said. I just go to McDonald's.
They got better food than McDonald's, right? They got
No,
chicken
that's
wings.
true. That's true. The wings
pizza.
is always like the thing, like the little finger foods and stuff.
Like bar foods, yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the
I
bar
mean,
foods. Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying that to help my case, like there's the drinks
There's
are
more than
$12.
one. There's more than women, and that you go to.
Yeah, I mean sometimes like maybe one guy's getting a dance and the other guys are just having a conversation.
Well, the point is,
Yeah.
he was like all chill about it, and I was like, I'm not gonna like. I wasn't trying to be like, don't go at that moment, because again, we were just starting to date. So I was like, okay, I don't want to also be like this crazy girlfriend.
You're holding the crazy back, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, no,
Girls
not
do
just that.
that.
I'm like, but am I really like uncomfortable? I'm like, I just like let it roll, because I'm just kind of like let it roll.
Oh, it's important in a relationship to set boundaries that you're not comfortable with, because if you don't, people will do it
just gets
over and
worse.
over till it becomes a problem, and then it's an argument.
Oh no, trust me, I nipped this one in the butt right away. I was hanging out with the guys, and that weekend, that same, like literally the day after, and one of them just wouldn't shut up
About it.
And let's be frank, one of them was Ruben.
Oh wow, Ruben's gonna be on the podcast soon.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait. But yeah, no, Ruben was there, but he was doing it kind of like he could
On
tell it was just
purpose?
like
Just to
Ruben's
fuck
just
with
a
you?
really joker
Yeah.
and stuff. So I'm like, whatever.
But
this other friend, he just kept going into details.
Oh.
And I was like, okay.
Yeah, that's frowned upon. You
You
shouldn't do that.
can't. Yeah. So then we headed out, and we were passing by the tilted kilt, and he goes like, "Oh, they wear skirts there," and and that's when I lost it. I was like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "You can't stop thinking about
Women.
women."
Like, shut up.
And I was just pissed. And then Ruben was having his fun.
Yeah.
And then we drove back, and we stopped, and I finally said, "You know what? That conversation ends here." It's like, I've heard you guys all freaking day.
Oh, you told them that.
And I told him, like, that's it. I don't want to hear about it. And I'm like, Eric, I'm not comfortable with you going to strip club. And that was it.
Yeah, Eric doesn't strike me as the strip club kind of guy, though.
Don't tempt him. Don't do that, guys.
It's hard because it's like, where are we going? Like, I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
There's other guys that are closer to Eric, like Heather.
Oh, yeah.
Enzo, these guys, they
love.
I'm not putting out ideas either, because I'm like, let's go to the strip club or something.
But it's just something if you guys were doing like a guy hangout, it's kind of end up
at strip club. Yeah.
It's funny because now it makes sense when he's like, but what if I would end up at the strip club? He's asked me.
Yeah. Sometimes you don't even plan it.
And I was like, well, that's why you drive your own car and you drive yourself home.
That's rough. Especially when you're drinking. I don't want to be driving.
I'll Uber him. I will Uber him wherever he is. I will pay and I will
I'm just
Uber.
trying to help my boy out right now.
You what?
I'm trying to make it so he can go with us. No, but
he's past that point though.
I would say it's innocent fun. You're never past the strip club.
I think.
Nope. I've seen guys that are like 6 years old.
Now you're giving me ideas to have a conversation.
Oh, I'm sorry,
about
dude.
This.
Go ahead.
But not in a bad way, because I'm not. I don't think I'm that.
Ooh.
Don't go.
I don't think he's gone to the strip club.
I think it's just at the beginning. They knew what was bothering me, and I think everybody kind of as a pack, instead of making a validation, they made it worse.
Well, that's what happens with like these guys. Especially like the group of guys that we usually are around.
They're like jokesters.
Yeah, they see a button, they want to fucking press it just because it's funny to them.
And who's the person?
Yeah. They saw your button and they're like, let's fucking click this thing.
No, that day, I talked to Eric. I'm like, look, I know let's talk about that's when we started our relationship. And I was like, I don't like it. I'm not comfortable with it. And he asked me why, and I was like, I think it's just the idea of having another girl
on you
or woman in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of awkward. It's like I'm giving you permission just because you work in an institution.
I guess.
Do you see where I kind of see it?
It's like entertainment, like a live entertainment.
Yeah, but it's like, why do you need that type of entertainment?
For fun.
I'll never
curiosity.
understand.
I don't know.
I know we went out to eat to B-dubs, and this guy in front of me was like, Eric, when are we going to the strip club? Oh man. I lost it.
Oh, but what do you have you ever been to a strip club?
No. I planned about it because I'm telling you I was going to go with him.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, let's go. And I bring my bills. Like, I'm 19 and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was like, what the fuck? Like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
It's nothing in my house I'm used to.
It's taboo, but there's a lot of things that people don't understand about strip clubs, which is one, like maybe your perspective of a strip club is these girls are getting naked and they're all on top of us or whatever. But in order for you to do that, you have to give them a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Something that most guys, when they go to the strip club, they're like, I'm like, why should I give you $20 for 5 minutes? That's insane. That's always crossed my mind. And there's a lot of rules. You can't touch them.
Mm-hmm.
They can touch you. You can't touch them.
Mm-hmm.
And there's people there looking over you like, hey, like, what are you doing?
I think it's just the idea of like when you're with the boys. Okay, so like when I'm with the girls
Mhm.
and you're with the boys, you're going to feel this other side of comfort.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
Drop water all over.
it's okay. I was trying to play it off and not
Yeah,
pay attention.
no, it's all right. I'll say it. But okay.
But that's the thing. Like, I'm not saying the guys that we hang out with are bad or anything like that.
No, it's just good
but
guys.
the fun ends up, you don't know where it's gonna end up.
Yeah.
Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
I don't,
like you said, like
I
he's past it.
I don't want a man touching my guy. A woman touching my guy.
You don't want a man touching your guy?
I want no one to touch my guy. No, but yeah, no, he understood and he was really respectful about it.
Yeah, that's important when you, like I said, there's boundaries that you need to make, but communication.
And that's what I like about him.
Yeah.
That even though we were like 18, 19 years old, he was very like, he wasn't going to be like, let me push the boundary.
Because he respects you and he loves you. And there's a certain understanding that like when you want to make it work with somebody, you do these things because it's worth it. You know, like he could push the boundaries, but he chooses not to because he wants to make you happy.
It's always a choice.
Yeah.
And it's really nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad. It's just that at the beginning, the guys trying to validate okayness to the strip club, they really fucked it up.
I am a fucking
like they really fucked
preacher
it up
when it comes to trying to validate that.
Oh yeah, I know. Again, once at house.
Yeah,
we were just like going at it.
Yeah. Okay. True. But my perspective is like, I took my girlfriend there, so she understood what happens, and it's not even the full experience because it was just me and her.
Oh yeah.
If she was with the guys, she could tell like, oh, so you guys aren't really. Yes, there's naked women and stuff like that, but like, there's also a conversation being had, and you're just having fun. And for some reason, it's like strip clubs are the only thing that's open after the club.
I guess I need like a little like maybe not talking about it. Maybe
just going.
Just to like get over and be like, oh my god, what the fuck are you doing? Just like a little card of Plantitas, be like, if you want to work with me, I will take you out of this. I'm just kidding. You're not making that money.
No, they'll make a shit ton of money.
Yeah, there's a bunch of memes like quit school just because for a reason.
Those girls make a lot of money. They drive better cars than
I think it comes with a lot of maturity too, of thinking of the perspective of a strip club. Because when you're younger, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I still kind of what the fuck. I do not respect the art of my boyfriend going.
I think you got me in trouble with my girlfriend.
I did not get in trouble. Oh my god, no! I'm gonna get in trouble for getting you. No, just kidding.
You're fine.
I'm kidding.
No,
Jesslyn hit me off for some crazy girl ideas.
For people wondering, my girlfriend's not in the next room, but she's behind the soundproof blanket.
She gave me some like comforting, knowing that it's okay to not be comfortable with strip clubs. So, well, that will be a continued conversation.
Yes, we will continue that, but we are having camera issues, and you have somewhere to be. Yeah. So, just to wrap things up, you have a raffle going, which I've mentioned before.
I do, and this. Let me see if I can get it off the way. I hope I don't drop it.
You want me to hold it?
Yeah, you can. About it? Yes, thank you. So this baby's, man, it grew. And I really hope it doesn't outgrow the pot before the raffle. Because we're still going for another like August the 14th, I believe. No, 13th, 14th, I'm going to announce. But yeah, so these plants are so easily to take care of. To be honest with you, if you don't follow like easy steps, I mean, that's the best way to kill them. So they're not there.
I'll try my best to keep mine alive.
Well, in the basket, what I've included for only like $5 through entry is this amazing freaking cup, which I was telling you guys that I wanted to keep for myself,
Yeah.
which
The
was
cold
made
cup.
by All Things Amare.
Mm-hmm.
And damn, like she delivered. She always delivers. Like,
Yeah, I love her stuff.
I love her stuff. This was from Nancy's Crafts, and she made a like little mirror with little cacti on it.
Oh, that's really cool. It looks like a button. It's a mirror?
It's a mirror, yeah. It's like a cute little like. Let's check for yourself real quick.
Oh, okay.
The stickers you noted. I mean, you can put this on your like water bottles,
Laptops, water bottles. Yeah. What are they of?
I have like a rib cage full of plants.
Okay.
Frida Kahlo and a cacti.
Cool.
What else do I got? A little card for, when you guys get the stuff, you get All Things Amada's information.
All right. So business card.
Business card. And let's see. I got a couple pins because I'm so like Mexican.
I love pins.
With La Loteria.
Oh, yeah. La Estrella.
La Estrella y La Dama. And what's not in here. Oh, and the basket also includes a $5 off arrangement. Faux and live plant.
Okay.
So whoever wins can use this for any arrangement they order.
Pretty cool.
And what's not included here, because I'm going to leave till the end, are the cookies. They're going to be they're homemade.
Okay.
And they're going to be obviously succulents and cacti.
Okay. So like the shapes of it?
The shapes of it?
Yeah.
And
not like little pieces of succulent in there.
Oh, no.
No, you can't chop it. You can't eat these things?
Maybe I'll throw in a little like leaf so you guys can propagate, which is really cool.
Yeah.
But they're Vasos Locos. I don't know if you see me like advertise that too.
I have, yeah.
And she makes her own rim paste for like the micheladas.
Oh, cool.
Like different flavors.
Yeah.
And what's going to be included is a $5 voucher for any candy you choose.
Cool.
For the candy.
Okay. And she could ship it to your house? Or
she delivers that to your house.
Oh.
So, okay. Yeah.
So you got to be in the area for that?
Yes.
Cool.
If not, we'll figure something out.
Well, I mean, I think you have a lot of great stuff here. It's like, I love the plant, the cup, the stickers. I like the stickers the most because I like just putting
you
them
like
stuff.
little
Look
things.
at my computer as like any sticker I get.
Mm-hmm.
I just stick it on anything.
Maybe I'll send you one next time.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I love giving stuff to you guys.
Thank you. You give me a lot of stuff, which I really appreciate. And I always
Jaslyn's awesome because she posted. I got her too, like little plants.
Yeah.
And I see that on her like cold cups.
Oh yeah, when she takes the pictures at All Things. Yeah, she has it right there.
Yeah.
She put like a logo or something on there.
Right.
On the thing,
on
just so
thing
people know. Well, hers, so people know.
Maybe I'll just send a little thing because I don't know. It feels like it takes away from
the cup or whatever.
So I just want to make sure. Yeah.
Oh, those cups are nice. They're really nice cups.
Yeah, I'm gonna order my own.
That one changes colors.
Does it really?
Yeah, when you put it, it gets darker. Or what color does it turn, Jazz? Dark green. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're color changing cups. So anybody could join the raffle for $5 and
yes,
they get all these great stuff.
Quick pay, Zelle, I guess, cash, and you guys can DM me through like PLANTITAS LLC over on Instagram or Facebook business pages.
Okay, I was gonna join. I was gonna get like a ticket, but if I won, people were gonna say it's rigged. So I was like,
well, it's not rigged. It can't.
I'll have my mom
cannot
join.
be rigged.
I'll have my mom join.
And then if
she wins
you can always share what's in the basket with everyone in the house. I'm sure one of the little things applies to someone.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure if she didn't do the cups, she'll be like, oh, I like the cup. Like
okay. Yeah, she just keeps the cup. Well, she could always make a cup.
Well, I'm saying she wasn't like the creator. Like I'm using it as an example.
I feel you. Well, it's a lot of great things, but I just want to say thank you for being here. It was a very interesting conversation. Don't worry about talking too much. That's what a podcast is for. It's like the outlet where you could just share your ideas, express yourself, and show people what you can do. And these plants are awesome. I put them everywhere. You guys should go check her out and get your own plants.
And I'll say thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Rudy?
I mean, it took a while. It took a while to do, and I hope you had a good experience. I know you were nervous, but the more you do it, the better.
Enough about a little bit about me, but like I wish you honestly the best.
Oh, thank you.
Because I see like your growth, and it's so nice to look back. Like you said, it keeps growing.
Yes.
But he's done such a like amazing job That's like, man, like
I
you make
got.
it look so easy.
It's not,
I'm
but
sure.
it's well when it's you and me,
Uh-huh.
easy. When it's like a guest,
Uh-huh.
the conversation just comes out, and that's why I try to invite people that I know are gonna say interesting stuff, and that I'm
You
genuinely
you
interested
should
in.
push your boundaries and have
Yeah.
someone like you know, but you don't really know.
I try. Yeah. There's people. Well, there's people that have been here that I've heard their story, but I don't know them personally. Like Dontrell, he came on here, and that was the first time
That was a really nice.
I ever met him and had a conversation. So it was kind of like a challenge, but it was good because he knew he just it's in him to talk.
Yeah.
And it was so easy for him to talk.
And it made it
for
a little
you, it was easy too. Like you said you were nervous,
a
but
little too much.
yeah, and no, it's
and
fine.
I'm comfortable. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
you
right.
got here and you just started talking. It was like, all right, now we're going. So thank you.
Yeah, no, I really wish like it's I'm like I keep saying and stuff, but like it's freaking amazing to work a full-time job and then to have like a production like this. And as far as you come already, it's bomb.
Oh yeah, I was looking at my last videos and I was like, oh wow, like this has changed. Obviously, Jazz got me the chair and then the microphones and everything. It's just you could see it grow little by little. So it's exciting, and I hope you grow too.
Thanks. Yeah. I hope your plant grows too.
Oh, I don't know how I'm gonna.
So what did I say right now? I was like, Jaslyn cannot help you with this plant.
Okay. Just because it's my personal
She can't
growth.
remind you. She can't remind you. You gotta like be on this. If you have questions, you can reach out to me.
Okay.
But this is on you.
I'm sure it'll be okay.
You'll be fine.
It'll be fine. And maybe you'll get as big as this one.
One
I'll put
week
little
later.
rocks and
You know
stuff.
what's crazy how these get? They can get like
Can I move
super
it
wide.
from the pot?
Yeah.
When it gets bigger.
When it starts getting bigger, just move it and then it just keeps growing and growing.
Cool.
I mean, like I'm telling you, like I'm nervous that
This
this
looks
is
like a
like
little
gonna
tree.
make. Like I feel like it's not gonna make
I'm like
it.
scared to touch it because I feel like.
But I'm so nervous that it'll be August 13th and that thing is gonna have to be transplanted to a different pot.
Just like everything that grows, you have to get bigger and better things. So.
Right? So $5, guys. Everything, even this big ass.
Go check her out. Yeah, it's great. You could put this on a fucking. It's a centerpiece. It's like you could put it on a coffee table or on one of like from your TV
in front
or something.
Of the window. Yeah,
there's a lot of places
anywhere where there's like some light. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Well, just so because I know you're running low on time, we still got to take a picture. Thank you for coming. Guys, go check her out. I will put the description down below. I know I say that a lot and then I don't do it. And people are like, where the fuck can I get this stuff? So
it's okay. I'll go in the comments and be like, yo.
Yeah, just right here. Here's my
I'll help
thing.
you out.
All right. Thank you guys.
Oh, thank you.
Well, thank you guys for watching. And if you haven't, make sure you like and subscribe. Thank you.